welcome to Uplifting Souls. My name is Abna Porsche. Many of us, we always pray and we tell God that God give me a destiny helper. But sometimes we don't really think about our destiny helper. We don't even think about the things that they also need in their life. Many of us, our destiny helpers also need a helper. So before you come into contact with that destiny helper, make sure that you are not a burden onto that destiny helper. You need to learn to acquire certain values. If you don't have those values, if you don't work on yourself, makes it look as if you are a burden onto your destiny helper. Because that person is trying to help you to fulfill your assignment, but don't leave everything on the person without you not working on yourself. That thing that you need a destiny helper in, make sure you acquire much knowledge in that field. Some people too, we might not even know what we need a destiny helper for, which is also fine. But make sure you have certain values put in you. You can work on certain things, such as how you relate to people, how you sacrifice for people, how you invest time in people, how you handle people that have anger issues. Because you don't know the type of destiny helper that you might meet. You can work on something as well, increasing your faith in the things of God. So that when you meet your destiny helper, and maybe there are certain things in their life that they are losing faith in, you can uplift them. Maybe acquire so many wisdom in so many different areas, so that when that destiny helper comes, the wisdom, the knowledge that you have acquired, you can also teach them, or you can also become a help to them. We say that we are all men and we all need help. There is no self-made man in the kingdom. So learn certain things so that when that individual comes, you can teach them about that aspect too. Because you both need help. Don't leave everything on your destiny helper. Work on yourself. Work on the things that can become beneficial to your destiny helper. Be a helper unto your helper. Just pray that God give me a helper when you yourself, you are not a helper. When we look in the Bible, Hannah needed a son, and God needed a prophet. So she went to God and she said, God, if you give me a son, I will give you a prophet. Why? Because she realized that the sons of Eli were not behaving right. Because she was able to recognize that, she went to God and she prayed. She wasn't just a burden, just praying that, oh God, I need a child. But God giving her the child, God also knew that he will also get a prophet out of it. When that destiny helper comes and that destiny helper is helping you, let the destiny helper feel that they are also getting something out of it. It might not be on the same scale, but let them learn something from you. Something valuable that they can learn from you. When we look into the New Testament, there was a man that built a whole synagogue, a whole church for the people. And when that man was sick, the people went to Jesus and they plead with Jesus that Jesus, this man cannot die because he loved our nation so much and he has built a synagogue for us. So although they didn't have the money to build their own church, to build their own synagogue, that man built it for them. But when the man also got to a point in his life that he needed help, they turned and they made sure that they went to seek for help by going to Jesus. You might not be able to help your destiny helper. Be a person of good use. You might not contribute as much to your destiny helper, but make sure you become a part of their process. Whatever it is that they need help with, even if you cannot invest into it, the little time that you can, just do it. You might not have the knowledge, but your little time that you can contribute to that thing, make sure you do. Helper will always need a helper. But the only way your helper can introduce you to their helper will depend on the values that is inside of you. Many people, their helper, they'd introduce them to their helper. So their destiny helper introduced them to their destiny helper. Just don't become stagnant. Just don't limit yourself in values, in wisdom, in exposure, in knowledge. Everything, acquire them so that when that destiny helper comes, you too can be a helper. Many people, the reason why we are very limited in terms of the help that we receive is because of our lack to grow. If there is no growth in us, we will keep getting the same level of help. There are levels and there are dimensions in the spirit. And the only way that you can be connected to those dimensions is by working on yourself. Your helper also needs a helper. And you can also become a helper to your helper. I want you to pray this prayer. The Father, let me know the values. Let me know the things that I need to work on, so that when that destiny helper comes, I can also become a helper to that helper. Always remember, uplifting souls, let us feed the soul.